It's such an honor to talk to you, Maya, today about your new book coming out in January. Is it January 1st?
Yes. And it's
Yes,
called Tribunal Decrees.
Tribunal Decrees. And this is a second book of decrees. The first book, Decrees of Commands, is amazing. And I just thank you so much for giving this to the world. It's really such an incredible work. And I just want to quickly tell a little bit about your bio. You're a Maya, the shaman, is a Lemurian-born soul scribe, ancestral gatekeeper, and the creator of infinite cosmic records and Lemurian code healing. Let's stop right there for a moment. And can you explain to us what it means to be Lemurian?
Okay, so I'm born in Maharlika, which is now known as the Philippines. And it's once a huge continent has drifted into islands, thousands of islands.
Mm.
And Maharlika is a part of Lemuria. So this is how it took place after thousands and thousands of years.
Amazing. Okay, so you are a spiritual guide and you in this is a work of invoking divine justice, and we say spoken from the bones of the earth and the scrolls of the unseen. Can you explain what that means to you?
Well, in this book that I'll be putting out, Tribunal Decrees, we bring it to the Creator because Creator is the source of all that is, the highest truth. And therefore, whatever I have put in words, the decrees that I have put together must must be in that higher realm, not in man-made realm, because it's the ultimate. And therefore, tribunal decrees has been set to empower us from the source itself. And so, through the infinite cosmic records, I was able to harness the information and gather very basic truth, what our world is looking like at this moment in time. And it's important for us to recognize what's taking place because this is what's going to open up new reality for us in order to move to the next phase of our development. So this is crucial.
Yes, and it was really enlightening for me to understand that what I'm getting from your work is that we're to be empowered through our creator. Whereas a lot of religious teachings have maybe suppressed our human ability to be empowered. And so, can you speak a little? Is that what you're referring to as this critical period that we're in? Is that a part of reclaiming our own empowerment?
Absolutely. It's about time for us to see that we have power, each and every one of us, and we cannot give our power away because that is what keeps us alive. That's the light and the love that we have inside us that empowers us. And so we need to recognize who we are as a unique identity, like you're made unique. I'm made unique. Nobody is exactly the same that's made here, unless people are cloned. That's another
Yeah.
story. But
Another, yeah.
what I'd like to say is that as a living embodiment of the conduit of Creator, we have the power to make commands and decrees to keep our life the way we want it to be and not have anybody else make dictation of how we should be, how our life should be, because this is our world. This we belong here. We are volunteers that came here to stay in the grounds. This is really important to recognize.
Stand our ground.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, the voice of this book is not soft. It's loving. It's full of love and light, but it is more of a legal sort of claim, right? Maya?
Exactly, exactly. Because we bring it to creator's court. In the tribunal decrees, we don't bring it to the human court because the human court has been sabotaged,
Mm.
manipulated, and it's slow. But when you bring it to creator's court, what happens is that everything moves faster. And it's the realm where everything unfolds easily and effortlessly. So it's important to know the difference between human court and the
Mhm.
court of creator. And this is where we're bringing awareness because we are not taught about creator's court on this earth life that we're living in. But it is a form of remembering, you know, because we have been our brains and our reality has been damaged over time. There's a
Mm.
lot of superficial things that has taken place on earth, and it covered what is absolute source that we should know as human beings, you know and this is the time, actually, this is a very important time for us because this is a time we're transitioning into something that is much more richer and could evolve into something greater. And it
Yes.
gives us, as the veil is thinning, it allows us to have more capacity to really release information that is needed for change.
Wow. Yes. So we don't have to ask for permission. We can actually command it by the power of the source. And you're going to show us how to do that with this book.
Yes, absolutely. It's a
And
template for that.
and what would you like to say about the how this tribunal decrees picks up from where the decrees of command leaves off?
Well, the tribunal decrees, it has the essence of the decrees that from the first book that I have created. But this one is directed straight to the court of creator where it's much more detailed. It has introduction why things has happened on planet Earth. It has important information why the word is so essential for us, why we need to understand that word is power,
Mm.
and that's why we're bringing it to the highest level, and we try to understand the cause of each issue that comes in this world that has been sabotaged, manipulated, that has echoes of inversion.
Hmm.
And because of that, we would like to shift that energy because a lot of our energy has been stolen, taken for granted by us because we don't know what's taking place.
Wow.
It
Yes.
could be either through black magic or through other organizations, institutions, or
Mhm.
even bloodlines that has taken something from us and we don't even know. And so it's important for us to be more conscious and aware what's really taking place in this world right now. And
Mhm.
when they took things from humans, from us as individuals, what happens to those energies? They are siphoned from us and put in vaults. And that is equivalent to monetary existence. What it means is that when something is taken from us, our energy, our light, our love, it pulls out from our human existence, meaning there's less of what we receive because it has been stolen. And those energetic emotions included and spirituality taken from us, they are brought into vaults by these
Mm.
beings who does black magic, who's in the covens, who are who knows how to do the inversions, okay? And
Wow.
so what happens is that it pulls what we have within ourselves and they take it, transfer it to theirs because they don't have direct connection with the source. We do.
Mm,
So because we're living soul contained directly infused with creator's energy. These beings who are not infused directly with creator source, they chose to do that. They wanted to have the power and the reality based on having to be the one in control. So control is a big thing that comes through in here. And
mm,
they want to have the control over planet Earth. This is a big deal for us because we cannot go on having our life siphoned, be taken away from us, you know. And you may be wondering, for example, why do I feel tired at certain
mm,
times? Or why do I feel like my mind is so clogged up or I could not think straight? And
mhm,
I supposed to be in good health because I'm eating good food, I'm doing the right things, I'm doing exercise, but still, you feel like things are just not working according to the highest and good for yourself. It's because your energy has been siphoned, and we
wow.
don't see that.
Yes.
It's invisible to us.
That
And
explains so much.
yeah.
Yes, and this whole book, the premise and the foundation of it, it explains so much about why we know there's so much corruption in the world and so much corruption in institutions, and there's so much injustice, and this is explaining it all through a spiritual lens like I've never seen before. So it's just so clarifying and so valuable. And would you say a little bit more about the intergenerational needs and how generations, how this plays out generationally, and how we can use the decrees to collapse those generational bloodline dynamics?
So in this book, we have information that kind of guides you in reciting what's in the book. So you don't have to work hard to try to find out what you need to do. It's been there as a template for you to speak it. And if you'd like to add your name and then speak about your lineage, then you can easily do that. You don't have to reinvent the wheels. It's already easily available to you. So you just need to put yourself in a very nice situation, like a comfortable place, and then read it, and just speak it from your own voice because that's important. Because that means that you're already claiming the information as your own, not to copy it or sell it because that's not allowed, because these are very important templates that has been guided by the higher realm. And you will, as you read through it, you will understand, that this comes directly from the higher realm. It has been downloaded into my being to be able to distribute it in this way. So it's easy and effortless. You don't need to reinvent the wheels.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's very powerful, and it can be intimidating, but you've just gifted it to everyone in such a concise and effective way here with these decrees. And can you explain a little more about how this pertains to actual prosperity in our practical lives? Is that part of reclaiming our gifts?
Beautiful question. That's a good one. Because when we start claiming what we originally have been given to us by Creator, which is our gifts, our intelligence, our creativity, our way to command, then we take it back. That power that has been leaking from us for so long will come back to us. What it means is that whatever they have taken from us that they have reserved in their vaults, the volts that they collect, energy, power, financial resources, because energy is equivalent to money. It's equivalent to living our life in the highest, best way that we could feel good about ourselves. Because if we are sustained in the physical realm, then we're happier. We have more for us. We don't have to worry. We don't have to have all these issues that we're dealing with. As long as we align with the source of all that is, that we're not taking advantage of other people. We're doing the right thing as human beings, and we're just living our life in accordance, in alignment with the highest truth. Then what happens? Okay, so institutions and people in different groups has siphoned our life force and energy. When we speak these commands, so that's why these are very important, that you speak it.
Mm.
Then what happens is that we're actually collapsing their vaults. And by doing that, the energies that they have collected from us, our abundance, our intelligence, our skills, our talents will start coming back to us. And this is really, really important because then you can start feeling your real self, your authentic self. And
Yeah.
you know how important
Yeah,
that
it's so
is.
beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's what everyone wants to fully embody themselves, to know themselves, and to be able to reclaim all of themselves, the whole self. That's just so beautiful. And I love the idea that you've really empowered people to realize that this is what God needs us all to do. The good people who are aligned with source, that's what is supposed to happen. That's what we're supposed to do. It's not even because I think a lot of old thinking makes people feel like they're selfish if they do these kinds of commands or if they want they're reclaiming all of their gifts, but it's really what we're supposed to do. We're what actually serves the world the best, and that's just one of the most empowering messages that I've gotten from your work. And it's I think it's important to realize we need to do that for everyone's well-being.
Exactly. Because if you think about it, we are part of Creator's light. Therefore, before we came and volunteered to be on this planet Earth, we already have what is given to us. But because this planet Earth has been a place of siphoning all our gifts, our talents, whatever we got, then the amnesia sets in. It's no longer who we truly are. We have been fractured. And
Mm.
the fracturing of our being results in lesser of who we are. And it's time to claim who we truly are. Because if we don't do that, this one will go on and on and on. We're supposed to be on a timeline where we're supposed to go into the golden age, where the old cycle, you know, from Kali Yuga, which is dark, has to
Mm.
move now into the light. And this is a crucial time. Therefore, if we start doing this now, we are moving this huge ball of new energy into the new phase, into the new cycle, which we are a part of. We are not excluded in this. We are the conduits. We are the one holding the grounds. We may talk about angels or whoever, whatever, but they are just supporting us from behind the scenes. We are the ones who are in this world. We are worldly in terms of our being physical. 3D is a physical reality. And a lot of souls wanted to come into this 3D to be able to experience all the senses, all our experiences. But the experience we have as humanity right now is not good. We don't
Mm.
have what it takes to make us feel good about who we are. 100%, you know. And
Yeah.
it's about time we know this. we have been in this rapture of being broken. Not that we are broken, there's nothing broken about our spirit, but broken in the way we have lived our life because of what has been going on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, so you said humanity itself has been stolen from.
Mhm.
So by doing these claims and commands, we are doing our part to bring humanity back into its full force where it's
Mhm.
supposed to be.
Exactly. It's basically cleaning house.
Yeah.
We clean up individually and then we clean up collectively. And that goes with cleaning up our governments, and all the organizations that is underneath it and everything else that needs to be cleaned up because Mother Earth has been waiting for so long to be cleaned up. We are the deadline has passed, you know, and so we need to really move towards catching up. Though we are catching up in a way by having these decrees come out now. We're not too late yet. So, what I'm trying to say is that let's get started with
Let's go.
individual cleansing. Let's
Yeah.
work on this tribunal decrees stated because whatever you're at the moment, wherever you're at, you can still catch up. And
Mhm.
this is the best way because a template has been put in place already. And look forward for the book, Tribunal Decrees, because this is your guide, and this is what will allow you to truly capture your essence back. And it's important to know that there's a guidelines on how to do this, and it's vigorous, and there's a needed time for you to do this right. You know what I mean? Because it's full. One decree, for example, have to look into your bloodline. The whole theme of what it takes to look into your bloodline is in this decree. And then, for example, another one is about institutions, who has taken or siphoned from humanity. There's a whole lot of information there that will allow you to state it, you know, and
Yes, and you talked about half measures and distractions. That's
Mhm.
a big part of what's happened so far. So how is this tribunal decrees breaking through those distractions?
Well, the control is not just physical in here. There is also galactic control who has sabotaged our existence. They're supposed to help us, but we have been betrayed many times over. And really, nobody can help us but ourselves. We are the ones we have been waiting for. There's
Someone.
no need to wait for anybody else, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So repeat it.
It's
We
so
are the
empowering.
ones we have been waiting for.
Yes, we are the ones we have been waiting for. And it's so empowering.
Mhm. Yeah, because we have the voice, and our voice is what gives us power. Words are like spells, and it has been used in a negative way,
Mhm.
and now we want to
Yes.
use it.
Blame. You
Mhm,
talk about blame, anger, violence, all being draining of our power.
mhm. Yes. And this is the time where we are just balancing things out. It's not rebellion. It's not like, we're going against, but we want to balance what
Mm.
has been out of balance. And a part of it is that if we are to ascend as humanity or individuals, this is a work that we need to do. We need to ground ourselves on planet Earth. It's not what they say, what ascension is, that you're going to just float out and go out of this world. Because Earth and us are going to work together to do this.
Mm.
Because cleansing the earth means bringing back the paradise on earth. And also, when that happens, energetically, our bodies would change. That means that we will go back into the aging because when we are cleansing our environment, our bodies, and the institutions, and everything else that are siphoning, the black magicians and all of that, they've been siphoning our energies, then we become more harmonious with the highest truth. And
Mm.
Lemurians, in Maharlika, they are beings who lived in very sacred sanctuaries where they are ageless, basically. They could live longer lives as long as they want. And I've encountered someone who has lived 300 years, and then he decided not to go forward because he just wanted to do something else different. So,
Mm.
there are beings that I've heard from the story of Lemuria where they live for thousands of years.
Wow.
And so, when we have reached a certain maturity in our understanding about spirituality, when we die, we don't die. That's what we need to understand. We
Okay.
live and we still feel. And actually, even without the body, we are still encountering different realities depending upon the karma that we have created. Okay. So
Mhm.
we as spirit never die. But as I said, when the karma is not cleansed from individuals' perspective and from their understanding, it will result in something that matches what they have
Mm.
created. So let's create something wonderful, something beautiful by cleansing, our own personal realm and moving forward. That's what tribunal decrees are doing for us.
Amazing. So the book is called Tribunal Decrees by Maya the Shaman. And I wanted to ask you to talk a little bit about the concept of resealing the earth as well after the collapse of these vaults and negative timelines.
Okay, so when we say we reseal the earth, that means we really become a part of having to own our own power because we were told by religious organizations that you could just be a devotee. You don't have to, you don't have to be powerful enough or whatever it is that they have introduced into our conditioning you know and
Exactly.
by resealing the earth means you have more power that you could use to know how to contribute. That's what it meant, and use that for the highest and best good of all.
Wow.
Okay. So
Yes. Okay. And so this all can come back to personal healing of our bodies and our trauma as well when we karma cleanse. How do the decrees affect our personal healing journeys?
we will move quicker when we can do this work, because it has nothing to do with affirmations. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do with belief system because it's in creator's court. It allows you to just creator makes it move for you. How about that? You don't have to do anything. It it you're given the power to move it quicker than you've ever imagined. It's not something that you have to, once you do the decrease, let it set in place. Give it some time, you know, and let the universe work for you instead of you trying to beg. You're not a beggar. You're making decrease as a command. There's a difference between, begging for something to happen. You're making the command from the word of creator. That is a huge difference.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's really so empowering. And we are made in the image of God. So we are creators as well of our lives and of our futures and of this world. And I think this work is just such a powerful application of that truth. And it is available on Amazon beginning
January 1st.
January 1st on Amazon.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you wanted to share about the tribunal decrees?
Well, what I wanted to share is that for human beings actually to just prepare themselves to understand, there's really nothing to do. It's very simple. Read decrees that aligns to what you feel is moving into your field that needed to be cleansed.
Mm.
And when you can do that, it's pretty simple. It's outright just reading the book with sincerity, with devotion to your higher self, not devotion to anything else. Because when you devote to your higher self, which is connected to Creator, then it's automatic. You know,
Mm.
there's no middleman here.
Yes,
You 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 are you are co-creating with Creator.
that's such a good message. So it should we pick the ones that speak to how we're feeling and then repeat them how often or how should we do the process?
I think you will know the process for yourself. Each person can feel it. If they needed to repeat it, they can do it. If they needed to go to the next one, because the tribunals are, as I said, once you speak it out loud, then the universe gets downloaded in the words that you speak.
Mm.
Okay. And so it's already honed in. You don't have, you have to then release whatever idea you have in your mind because the mind gets in the way. And this decrease allows you to not overthink it, which is the beauty of the book. It allows you to just say the words written in it, and then thank Creator for having to download it to us. And me, as a conduit of these decrees, made it easy and effortless for each and every one of you. And so that is the power of the book. You don't have to do much. You just have to say to yourself, I'm ready. I'm prepared to be the co-creator and to work with the universe on making the commands. I'm a part of this universe and therefore I have the right and I choose to do this. It's pretty simple.
Yes, you make it sound simple. So, yeah, so Maya, the recorder of decrees, sacred scribe, speaking on behalf of all the voices who were stolen, everything that was stolen from us and from our brothers and sisters and from the good in this world. Thank you for bringing this work to light. I know it's going to be a great blessing to so many.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela, for coming and giving this an opportunity for everyone else to listen to us.
It's always an honor to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. And we'll talk again, hopefully, another time.
Yes, talk soon.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye.